Hey guys, so this will be a updated TTC video. Sorry that I haven't updated you guys in a while. I mean, it's been about a month, but I was really sick for a long time, and it was right before I went to the doctor, my RE, for the first time. So I'll tell you guys about how that went and about everything that's happened since then. I've got a couple of notes that I wrote down so that I know that I can kind of try to keep on track, because I always seem to get off track on these videos. Okay, so May 28th was my first visit to the RE, and I was on cycle day 100. You heard me right, cycle day 100. And the first thing I did, see, I was the only one in the office, which was weird for me. I went at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the first thing that I did was I spoke to the nurse, who went over family history with me. She asked me all these questions, and it took maybe 20 minutes for us to go over every single question that she asked me about my period history and my family history and things like that. And then finally, the doctor came in and we went over my records that I got from my OB and from the regular endocrinologist that I was going to. And then we went over my Clomid cycle, which you guys know, if you follow my channel, I had 3 rounds of Clomid that were not monitored. They were not monitored, or I didn't get any ultrasounds or anything to see if follicles were growing or anything like that. But according to my cycles and the fact that I got a period while taking the Clomid, it was confirmed by my RE that most likely I did ovulate every cycle, those 3 cycles that I had with Clomid. And he said that was a good thing, because that means with 50 milligrams of Clomid, that means that my PCOS isn't as advanced as some women who have PCOS, which is a good thing. Then we went over my husband's sperm count. Well, his essay, he only did 1 essay. You guys know around the time that I told you he did his sperm analysis. My husband told me that the doctor told him it was on the low side of normal. Well, that's not the case. His sperm count is low. He told me that, yeah, it was on the low side of normal, but then after you take out all the good ones from, or separate all the sperm from the semen, volume and all that stuff. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it was low. His sperm count is low. So, he told me that if, when my husband does another sperm analysis, if it's lower than his count before, then we'll have to go straight to IVF. I did not want to hear that. I could have started crying right then, because it's just, I know that my husband, there's a lot of lifestyle changes that he can do to lower his, or higher, or up his sperm numbers, And, to me, that kind of made me upset with him, because I know that there's a lot of things he can do to have a good sperm number, I don't know, so, okay, well, that's a factor, that's a thing now, that his sperm count is low, and I don't know how to up it. I know there's some vitamins and things he could take. I know, he wears boxers, and, he goes out on weekends and he drinks with his friends, and he smokes the vape cigarettes and things like that, and he doesn't have a very good diet. He is a little overweight. I mean, there are things that he could do to make his sperm count better, and to me, it kind of made me upset, because I always told him, look, babe, you need to make sure you got a good count and all that stuff, and he always just kind of blew it off because he felt like he had a good count. So, okay, and after that, we went into the exam room, because, the consult, the room that he was talking to me in was not an examination room. It was just like an office, I guess. And after that, I went into the exam room, and he told me to get undressed, and so he can examine me. He did a pap, and he did, check my breath. He did a regular exam, like you guys know exams. And then after that was over, he took some blood to check to make sure that I wasn't pregnant. And then he did, I guess he sent some of my blood off to go get tested for certain diseases and things like that, as far as birth defects and stuff like that, like, since I'm African American, obviously he had to check for sickle cell, and like if I had a trait and stuff like that. Just, I guess, routine stuff that he likes, that he checks. And then we talked about taking a progesterone pill to start a period. He said that if the beta or the pregnancy test came up negative, he would call in an order, and then I would start progesterone. Okay. So that was all on May 28th, which was Wednesday, May 28th. The next day, May 29th, I got a call from the nurse saying that the pregnancy test was negative, and that to start the progesterone, which he put me on Prometrium. I know you guys know about that. It is a progesterone pill. He put me on 200 milligrams of Prometrium vaginally. And the only side effects I got from that were just, it made me tired, and I had a little bit of heaviness in my uterine area, which was fine. That was all based on I always research everything, and so some of the research that I see, or some of the things that I seen women say online about Prometrium was, it made them feel drunk and they were dizzy and all that, but they were also taking it orally. I was taking it vaginally, and it was an oral pill, but he wanted me to insert them vaginally for 7 days and then stop and wait on a period. So I started, 5 days after the Prometrium, which was different for me because every time I take progesterone, 3 days after, even when I took birth control pills and I stopped the hormones and started the blank pills or whatever, I would start my period 3 days after. It's just always been 3 days after taking it. So 5 days after the Prometrium is when I started cycle day one, which was June 10th. June 10th to the 13th, cycle days 1 through 4 was good. I had to call the doctor on cycle day 1 to schedule an HSG to get done and an ultrasound. So my ultrasound was scheduled for the 19th, and my HSG was scheduled for the 20th of June, this month. And so I had my period, and then I waited. I am currently on cycle day 13 today. So June 19th, which was Thursday. Today is Sunday, June the 22nd. I'm sure it's the 22nd, I think. Yes, today is Sunday, June 22nd. I'm sorry, I was trying to see. Okay, today's Sunday, June 22nd. So on the 19th, Thursday, I went in for an ultrasound. And I'm just going to tell you how fast this was, how quick this ultrasound was, or how quick this whole visit was. I went in, I sat down, I walked in, said, okay, I'm here for ultrasound. I was the only one in the office. I sat down, I waited for maybe not even 2 minutes. I sat down and, I couldn't even cross my legs good and get comfortable before she came out. I was like, okay, we're ready for you to come back. I walked back. She said, okay, go empty your bladder, get undressed from the bottoms down, or from the waist down, and then he'll be in to see you. So I went, emptied my bladder, got undressed from the waist down, sat on the table, waited maybe 2 minutes. She knocked on the door. She was like, are you ready? I said, yep. And he came in. I laid down. He told me to scoot to the bottom of the table. I scooted to the bottom of the table. He put lube on the thing. He inserted the thing. He looked at my uterus. He said my uterus was 9 already, which, if you guys know what that means, I have no idea what that means. I'm assuming that meant it was, the thickness is a 9. I didn't ask because I want to get in and get out. And I didn't ask to, you know, because I knew I could probably research it, or I can ask you guys if you know what a 9 is. So he said I was a 9 already after, you know, looking at my uterus. He checked my ovaries and said each ovary had 20 to 25 follicles on them, and each of the follicles were all under 8 milliliters, or millimeters. I want to say millimeters. Don't quote me on that, but I'm just assuming that's what that is. But all were under 8. So it was cycle day 10 on that day, and for cycle day 10, I don't know if 8 is good or not. And to me, that I assumed that I wasn't going to be ovulating. None of the follicles were dominant. None of them seemed like they were over an 8. So all were under 8. And then he said, okay, took it out. He said, I'll see you tomorrow, HSG, take 3 Advils, and I'll see you then. Okay, so I got dressed and I left. That's exactly how fast that went. That was just, it was so quick. It was literally, my appointment was at 12, right? I got there at 11:45 and I got out there at 11:59. Yeah. That's how fast it was. I didn't even get there. I wasn't even there. I was out the door and on my way to my car, and it was 11:59 when I was outside. So that's how quick that was. So the next day was my HSG, and I'm not going to tell you guys how that went on this video. I'm going to wait until the next video, and that I'm going to make. I'm going to make a video just strictly on my experience, my HSG experience, and try not to cry. I'm going to try not to cry when I make this video, because to me, that, I don't know. I'll explain it all in the next video. But that was an update for now, just so you guys know. And that's it. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and that'll be my HSG video.